Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're going a couple quick videos today. Before we get started, please sign up, subscribe. I need some more subscribers to get over 50. So we're starting from scratch. So if you're watching, I need you, really need you. All right, today let's just get right into it. Today we're looking at the Redex race as it goes through over 9,000 miles. Let me just start this up here. 9,000 mile race in 1954 across Australia. It's called the Reliability Trial. I don't know how you'd call a 9,000 mile trial. It's like the main event. I can't imagine. They said there is Peugeot, Austin, Beetle, Ford V8 are some of the cars participating. This coverage is from the British Pathway channel, so we're just doing a quick review of it here. We're not going to show all the content. Go to their channel to check it out. I'll just show it real quick. British Pathway is the place to go. And also just to show you real quick, I've got Exploring the World and Pushing the Limits. Playlist started. Check them out. There's more videos that are in there than I am going to cover. Likewise with all my playlists. There's a lot of items in there that we don't cover in the show. Let's check it out.
East and north again. At Mackay, there's a control center where cars arrive every 2 minutes to check in, have point scores recorded, and then drive on again. There's a big crowd waiting.
There's 240 cars in this race.
Day and night the trial goes on, and day and night people gather in even the tiniest hamlets to give the drivers a cheer and a wave as they fly past.
When was the last time you had a community event like that? Can you imagine?
A welcome sight to drivers and crews because it means a long break, well, a few hours anyway, in which to snatch 40 winks. And there's no such thing as insomnia among the Redex drivers. After what they've been through, they could sleep on broken glass. They just hit the ground and they're fast asleep. Victorian entry P. Pomeroy has a famous escort, Granny Conway herself, and she's as fresh as a daisy. Self-appointed cooks get fires going. Sausages freshly cooked and piping hot are a popular concoction. Same spot
So you check out the roads in this place. Obviously, most of them are unpaved, dirt roads, so there's just sand and dust everywhere.
Only films can capture the full drama of conditions like these. Dust caught in the beam of our special lighting gives a fantastic effect. Dawn and the cars come hurtling out of the night toward Cloncurry. Jack Davy, who's giving it a go for the second time, seems to be having a spot of trouble. He makes no bones about telling our cameraman just what he thinks of his present predicament. Fortunately, we weren't wired for sound.
Saw a different breed of man. Different time, different audacity. Look at that, windows down, everything's going crazy.
Well, what do you know? Davy's back in the trial again and making a determined effort to make up time.
Meanwhile, the temperature's just not quite right in our room. Doing a racing simulator is fairly uncomfortable for me. So this is pretty exciting. This is the kind of stuff I grew up watching, getting inspired by, pushing your limits. What's your personal physical tolerance limit? What's the vehicle's limit? What's the environmental weather limits going on here? It's insane.
He's philosophical about it. The telegraph cars flag down too, and co-driver John Jones gives the definite impression that he'd rather see the control someplace else. Secret controls so far have cost competitors many points. And who should be next along but our old friend Jacques, that built it in wartime. 1,051 miles of it to Darwin. Trouble already, and on this billiard table. The worst of bad luck. Ken Tubman, last year's winner, has had it. At least his gallant little Peugeot has. A broken tail shaft, and he's right out of the event. But it's the luck of the game, and many other Peugeots are right up with the leaders on point score. And so into Darwin. Limited space makes that 1,051 miles a right smart journey. Food is awaiting, but they can't eat it. They want sleep, sleep, and still more sleep. At dawn, we're off again, out into the vast, almost trackless wastes, into a weird country.
I didn't get into, exactly how long, like how many days that would take, but just driving across, say, Canada or the northern U.S., it's like, 4,000, 6,000 kilometers, something like that. So it's 3 or 4 days just driving straight nonstop. And look at these, these roads aren't going anywhere fast. So that's pretty exciting. And the amount of skill involved with traversing all these different terrains, as well as just, I assume, having manual steering. Your arms would just be chopped with every little bump you went over. So hats off to these racers. All right, just going to go to a different video in the playlist here. Let's have a look at the Trieste steepest dive.
Just imagine 2 guys going 7 miles down into the deepest ends of the deepest ocean.
So this is they go 7 miles deep. I think it was up until that time at least, and maybe even since then, one of the deepest dives ever. And I'll skip through a few of these because I just want to review it real quick. This is an old ship, an old research ship from the 40s that then get used in the 60s to create this story with the at least one of the people that was involved actually being interviewed.
Pacific's Mariana Trench, more than 11 kilometers beneath the sea. No air, no light. 2 men would set out to explore the ocean's most hostile extremity. 28-year-old U.S. Naval Lieutenant Don Walsh, a qualified submarine officer, and 37-year-old Swiss engineer Jacques Piccard. Together they would pilot a one-of-a-kind bathyscaphe, the Trieste. A creation of Jacques' father and collaborator, physicist Auguste Piccard, best known for his high-altitude study of cosmic rays through the night.
Yeah, so Jacques Piccard, we'll come back to him in another video because he pushed the limits early on. He was born in the late 1800s, lived till 1962, and you'll notice, well, maybe you won't notice.
1920s and 30s, his pressurized spherical capsule would set records.
But in the 20s and 30s, he set the records for the highest elevation, or the highest altitude, I should say. And if you know, some of the pictures of him are actually, it's a rough sketch of what Professor Calculus is based on in the Tintin books, doing all these crazy experimental things, like a rocket to the moon.
Where his stratospheric gondola was on display next to the deep diving bathysphere.
So we'll come back to that
one. And William Beebe. The experience surface. Here, Mount Everest would stand 2,066
Here's how deep they went.
The Mariana Trench, it's as far away as you could get on the planet, from the surface of the planet.
Performance of every system on the Trieste was rigorously evaluated and adjusted.
Trieste, as purchased,
they went and found
in San Diego, was a 20,000-foot submersible at the original cabin, which was made.
So they went and found the original ship. I believe it was in Italy, and brought it over to the United States, and then worked on it from there.
Give him the materials, sort of shove them under the door, and out would come the perfect piece.
We needed so many things done on the scaff. As I started replacing things, we broke the antechamber window, the sphere came apart, the water current meter, that wasn't working anymore.
He took the Trieste in and put it up on land and took it all apart, and then put the new cabin on it and had the extended balloon.
Everything on the bathyscaphe is one of a kind. Nothing you can buy off the shelf.
Everything that we put on the bathyscaphe, we had to think of and design and make it.
Test times off Guam began. Nothing could be left to chance.
Having this original footage is just amazing.
They did this step by step by step. Each time they did it, there was this kind of challenge. And
so you see there's like this top unit
they got deeper.
that's got, I assume, fuel and pumps and generators and stuff on it. And then there's the bottom capsule. You can see the circular one there is what the pilots would sit in and do their observations from.
Confident, the fragile Trieste was slowly towed towards her destiny.
If you're interested in where the deepest spot is, you've got all kinds of maps. But that's a very long time ago and probably not
1,000 meters. Deeper. Deeper. Releasing small amounts of the aviation fuel ballast, Walsh and Piccard guided the Trieste through the thermal layers of the ocean, adjusting their rate of descent 1 to 2 meters per second. At 1,000 meters, they had slipped beneath the reach of the sun into the midnight zone. 4,000 meters, the abyssal zone. home to the most bizarre creatures on Earth, surviving
The
under pressures of
abyss.
9,000 pounds per square inch.
9,000 pounds per square inch. You thought your car tire was full of pressure.
As they descend, they will be seeing these flashing lights, these luminous shapes, these forms that are moving upward as the vehicle descends.
With the lights out and looking outside.
I remember there was a couple movies there in the 90s about these deep dives, right? And yeah, those creatures, strange creatures, were all almost alien-like. And nowadays it seems quite common, but in these videos, even it's showing how unique they were at the time, even just in the 60s.
This thing is growing in a special kind of way.
6,000 meters, the hadopelagic zone.
Let's just go back to. I just want to go
This
back to
thing
that
is growing
diagram
in a
and show
special
you.
kind of way.
6,000 meters.
So here they are. They crossed the 6,000 meter mark, and they're actually heading straight all the way to the bottom to over 10,000 meters, or 35,000 feet deep.
The hadopelagic zone. Water temperature, freezing. Inside the sphere, a chilling 4.5 degrees Celsius. 9,000 meters. As deep as a commercial airliner flies high.
The pressure on every square inch, almost 16,000 pounds. That's twice the weight of 2 armored Humvees. It's pressing on every square inch of steel.
And they did it.
The weight on the crew cabin is the full weight of the Pacific Ocean.
A gut-wrenching sound hammers the Trieste. Both men react, searching for answers, for leaks. Anything
Here they
that can
are.
explain what was happening.
Again,
And about
different breed. They check, they look, they don't see any problems, but they heard some kind of crack, and they're like, oh yeah, let's keep going.
31,000 feet, we had a great big bang, and we really didn't know what it was, except that we were still alive.
The big fear was that water was going to come into that crew cabin and turn these guys into pink hash, because that's what the ocean does at those pressures.
The thing is, if it had been a failure pressure boundary, the pressure there was about 7 tons per square inch. It'd been over instantly.
They waited for the end and didn't come. But they were so close to the bottom, and since they weren't dead, they decided to keep going.
We looked at all our gauges, everything was working well, so we continued the dive.
That's the way they roll. I'm telling you, it's amazing. That descent all the way to the bottom, you can watch the full video to see it in more of its glory, although the animations I find a little distracting. I want to see what's going on inside the cabin. But it took them 5 hours to do that descent, and they ascended without any issue. But check it out. It's on Rolex's channel, as in the watch brand. Yeah, check it out, and it's in the playlist, Exploring the World. It's on the playlist, Exploring the World and Pushing the Limit. Anyway, that's it for today. Hope I found that interesting, and maybe remind you of some videos you'd like to see. Tell me what exploration videos you liked growing up. And again, just a reminder, really need you. Please join.